Hello, everybody. I am just finishing up my 2025 year in review video. I was hoping to get this done sooner, but I've had a lot of stuff going on. I have been extremely busy, hoping to keep that going in 2026. 2025 was a big year for us. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of adventuring. Stick around because 2026, we're going to keep this momentum going. I appreciate everybody who's following along. On we go. My year started off in January going down to Florida to bike the Coast to Coast Trail. I was trying to escape the cold, but Florida was in the 50s probably. I don't remember. It was pretty cold. Freaking awesome. Sorry, dude. While down in Florida, I met up with Kevin, who I met through Ride Along Adventures with Brian. He rode with me, and for a day or two, it's pretty fun.
I like it. Yep, that's pretty good.
You guys would not believe the stuff I do for this quality content. There's a cop over here on the other side of the tree, and I don't think he saw me. We're gonna roll by, see if he notices. This is dumb. So far, so after Kevin split, I was back to stealth camping, and he said this was an area I could not stealth camp in, and I almost got busted, but we did it. After finishing up the Coast to Coast Trail, I hung out in Florida around the Gulf Coast, the Gulf of America. I did the Spring to Spring Trail, and I rode around St. Pete Beach and Honeymoon Island. I really had a good time. Unfortunately, I couldn't stay in Florida forever, and I could not escape the cold. So February saw me back in the Cranberry wilderness area where I tried biking through snow. I actually got snowed out, and I didn't actually bike the route that I wanted. I ended up leaving this route, and I biked the Cranberry Tri-River Rail Trail, which didn't have snow on it at all, even though it was just a few miles away. Bald eagle. Bald eagle nest. In March, I went to the Paint Creek Recreational Trail where I met up with Matt. Our intention was to bike from Chillicothe to Xenia, but we had a strong headwind the entire time. And by the time we made it to camp, my throat was pretty much gone. I could barely, I could barely talk. So we ended up making camp on the side of the trail and then biking back the next day.
I always wondered, do group rides and stuff. No, it is.
In April, I had went down to Tennessee to the Great Smoky Mountains. I had had my eyes on the Cades Cove Loop for quite some time. I wanted to get out and do something, and I was also chasing down some critters. I wanted to see some bears, so I went down. I biked around Cades Cove a couple of times. It was pretty awesome. It's a bear. I found this fella trying to get across the road. There was several people actually out filming or taking pictures of him, and she, whatever, had no interest in coming near us and ran like crazy. I ended up getting to see a few bears. I didn't see them all on Cades Cove, but I was tracking them down. There's also a ton of turkeys, and there's a bunch of deer. It's a really awesome place. I really want to get a better camera just to film wildlife. In April, I did a Creeper Trail group ride. This was, I guess, technically my first group ride ever because I've never actually done a group ride at all. I had several of y'all come down to ride it. I believe there was 14 people counting myself. It was a lot of fun and people enjoyed it, and I got a lot of requests for other group rides. So later on we did another one, and we'll likely keep doing the group rides.
Tin roofs up in the trees. Oh yeah. That way. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And another gate mate. Yeah.
All right, say hi, everybody.
Hello, everybody. If you want our autograph, see Bane.
Yeah. In May, I went back and did the Ohio to Erie Trail again. The Ohio to Erie Trail was one of the first big trips that I did when I first got started. And I wanted to go back and do it again, so I did. This trip was a lot more rough than the last time. I got a lot of headwinds and a lot of rain the entire time. I was moving way slower than I did the first time, which was nuts because I've done a lot of biking since my first trip. Three cabooses. I tell people all the time that if you see me out and about, stop and say hello. or if I post up where I'm going, that's kind of an invite. And
Just
on
aiming
this
at the
trip,
good-looking
Jason
ball
came
guy.
out to ride with me.
Like my girlfriend. Bother! I'm just trying to move you. I got my heart rate up. Thanks.
In June, I went back to the Cranberry Wilderness to attempt biking this loop that I got snowed out on before. This was kind of a test run to see if I could do the elevation gain, because later I had a trip through the Monongahela National Forest through West Virginia planned, and I didn't even know if I could do it. My next big trip was a tour through the Monongahela National Forest in West Virginia. I started at the Blackwater Falls State Park, and I biked down to Marlington, West Virginia, which is on the Ragbrai River Trail. As usual, I got caught in rain that I didn't expect. I dodged some of it and ended up getting wet later in the day, and I decided to get a hotel because I really needed to get dry and not try to camp in the rain. I didn't actually put a lot of it in this particular video, but this section of the trail was a massive mistake. I ended up pushing the bike most of the way, and once I got to the top of the ridge where I thought it would be okay, the trail had been grown completely over, and I was pushing the bike through briars and stinging nettles. It was brutal. After going through at least part of the West Fork Rail Trail, I was pretty tired. And once I got down to Durban, West Virginia, I actually hopped on the train. There's a steam locomotive that goes from Durban to Cass. And I hopped on it and made it down to Cass. In July, I went to check out the Meadow River Rail Trail in West Virginia. It's a short trail, it's new, and I wanted to go check it out. I ended up, this was like a little road trip doing a few trails. I ended up doing the Jackson River Rail Trail that's in Virginia as well on the same trip. Hey, everybody look pretty. Good job, some of y'all. In July, I went to do the Ragbrai event, which is biking across the state of Ohio. Biking across the state of Iowa with like thousands of people. I had a lot of fun. It was really different being around folks. I'm not used to being around so many people. This was actually a real blast, and I didn't think I would enjoy it, but we're planning on doing it again this year. What really made this event so good for me is getting to hang out with everybody. I ended up riding with Jason during the trip, and then I met Joe here, and he rode with me every day, all day long. And if it wasn't for these fellas, I wouldn't have had nearly as much fun. So if you're coming to Ragbrai this year, make sure to get a hold of me and say hello.
Spain is the most awesome dude ever.
Way would be difficult. It was indeed stalking y'all. You guys ride bikes? Awesome.
If you can, yes. Oh my gosh, one more. Woo! Ah! Ah!
Woo! I guess Ragbrai was a big turning point for me and for the channel. Shortly after doing Ragbrai, Priority Bikes contacted me, and they sent me one of their Bruzer bikes. They just wanted me to ride it, and I'm going to ride it. So I took this out to one of the roughest places I could find by accident, and I biked around what's called the No Business Loop in the Cumberland Plateau area. It's in Tennessee and Kentucky. Ooh, I gotta be careful. I go over the bars on this. In August, I went on a trip to South Dakota, and to break the drive up, I stopped in Wisconsin and did the Elroy-Spart Trail. This is the first rail trail in the world, at least according to what I read. Another trip where it wasn't supposed to rain according to the forecast, and I got dumped on anyways. My main goal going to South Dakota was to ride the Mickelson Trail, and I got to do that. It was my first big trip on a bike out west. South Dakota is too far to drive for one trail, so obviously I ran around while I was in South Dakota. This is the Spearfish Canyon, which is just a road, and I thought it'd be cool to bike down it after exploring it, and it's awesome. I also spent some time at the Badlands National Park and biked around it as well. It was also super cool and beautiful and quite windy. And again, on the ride home, I broke up the trip with the High Trestle Trail in Iowa, and I hung out with Joe, who showed me around the trail, and we biked across this bridge at night, which is phenomenal. Say hello, Joe.
Hello, Joe.
What do you say, over 100 miles?
A bike trail?
Yeah.
We have over 600 miles of bike trails.
In the end of September, I was back in West Virginia on the North Bend Rail Trail. This trail is actually fairly close to me, and I'm surprised I don't ride it more often. I've actually done it a couple of times. We had our second official group ride on the Little Miami Scenic Trail in October. I never really expected to be doing group rides, but after doing the other group ride, everybody started asking about them, so I wanted to get everybody together and do another group ride. Sort of trying to build my own little community here. I don't actually associate with a lot of people, and y'all's kind of my people. I did a little road trip through Virginia in October as well. I was out knocking out some trails that have been on my list, so I got to the High Bridge Trail, and I went and did the Virginia Capitol Trail as well. And at the end of this, I made it back to Damascus to do the Creeper Trail again. I guess October was a busy month. I made it back down to Virginia to the New River Trail in October as well. And I got to bike with Scott and Billy, both of which are YouTubers as well. Billy's Bikes and Brews and Joyful Trails with Scott. This was actually a lot of fun. This was during the government shutdown, and I didn't want to go anywhere at this point, but I really couldn't pass up the opportunity. In November, we was a month into the government shutdown. I wanted to do something on the cheap, so I just biked to Gallipolis, Ohio, and Point Pleasant, West Virginia, where I got to check out the Railroad Museum, and I ended up stealth camping in a TNT bunker in Point Pleasant.
Man, they age quick around here.
In December, I ended up getting an e-bike sent to me, and originally I was just going to use it for grocery getting, but some of y'all said I should be doing adventures on it, so I took it to the West Fork Rail Trail to try it out, and we got lucky, I guess, and found some snow. So I ended up biking around the West Fork Rail Trail and the road alongside the West Fork Rail Trail in the snow. And I finished off the year, literally the last week of December, doing the Rapha Festive 500. I didn't know anything about this, but this is another one of those things Jason got me stuck in. This was biking 310 miles or 500 kilometers between Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. And I started out about 5 a.m. Christmas Eve morning, and we got this completed actually with a few days left.
We just finished this Rapha Festive 500, folks.
Well, folks, that is it for 2025. It is actually New Year's Day 2026. 2025 was a big year for me. I got to meet a bunch of y'all, which really, to be honest, it helped my confidence quite a bit. I was always kind of worried that if I meet anybody in person, they're not going to like me and I'll lose all my subscribers. But, I met a bunch of y'all and everybody's really cool, and I've become friends with some of y'all. So I hope to keep that up. This year we're going to be doing more group rides just because I like meeting everybody. We're going to do that. We're going to be doing Ragbrai again this year. Other than that, I don't have any set plans quite yet. I'm just continuing to do what I'm doing. This is more than just fun for me. It's kind of my therapy. I got a few more bikes that I have been sent that I got to get done and get reviews on. So we're going to be doing some reviews. I get questions on the gear that I do or that I use often. So I'm going to try to get to those videos as well. I've been meaning to do review videos of my gear, but again, it's not stuff that I do, so I'm kind of insecure about it. But the more I do, I guess the better or more comfortable I get with it. And you guys are asking for it, and Bane gonna give it to you. So thanks for sticking around. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Share with your friends. We're trying to blow up. We did really well in 2025, and we want to surpass that in 2026. So stick around. Comment. If you have suggestions on places I should go, let me know. If you want to do a group ride and you think your area would be good for a group ride, I don't know. Tell me what trail to meet up at. Thanks again, everyone. I really appreciate it. Hope everybody's had a good year. Everybody's enjoyed the holidays. And Happy New Year. And let's keep doing this. Follow along.
This is quality content.
Like and subscribe.
Maine is the most awesome dude ever.